Are you bored with the classic martini? Why not try an Arnaud Martini? More like our yes. Today we are taking your taste buds on a first-class trip to Paris. Arnaud Martini, which is not a martini at all, although it does have 2 of the ingredients of a classic martini. Drinks nothing like it, but you're gonna love it. It's also our first mix-along, so welcome, thank you so much. I also am throwing in a second cocktail for you, so you have another one to make with those bottles. Let's dive right in to the bar. Yvonne Arnaud was a piano prodigy. She was a piano prodigy. At a young age, she performed throughout Europe, on the transcontinental railway, even in the United States. And this was in the early 20th century. Allegedly, her mother was a huge source of pressure throughout all of this. We're gonna touch on that in a little bit. I think that's pretty common with prodigies. I would know nothing about that. Maybe my parents should have pressured me a little bit more. Anyway, Yvonne was not her given name. Her real name was Jeanne Germaine Arnaud, and she was born in Paris, France, but she spent most of her life in London. See, by the time she was 20, she gave up the piano, moved to London, and started acting. She also changed her name to Yvonne because her middle name was Germaine, which sounded a lot like the word German. And this was at a time when a lot of things were happening in Europe. Yvonne just had a better ring to it. It was also a symbolic break from her mother. So she reinvents herself as an actress. She was a comedic actress. She acted in musicals. She was in the cinema later, and she was on television, on the radio. She was a star reborn, and there was a cocktail named after her. In fact, the Arnaud Martini is named after her. Obviously, 1955 is when we see first print of the Arnaud Martini. It was in a book called An Anthology of Cocktails, which is difficult to say, and it was published by Booth's Gin, which is also difficult to say. In that book, it's not called the Arnaud Martini. It is actually called the Parisian, and this drink has a few different names. I've seen the Parisian, I've seen Parisian Nights, just Arnaud, and the Arnaud Martini, which is what I like to call it. I think if you just call it the Arnaud, a lot of people get it confused with another cocktail called the Arnaud Special, but that's for another time. It's an equal parts cocktail, and the only thing that we're doing differently from the original recipe is we're gonna stir this drink. Originally it says to shake it, and we are gonna express some lemon oil across the top. So, now the booze. If you're mixing along at home, you already know the bottles we're gonna be using, but for everybody else, we will need gin, crème de cassis, and blanc vermouth. There we are, 3 bottles. This is a new gin here on the channel, Australia Ocean Gin, which has a little salinity to it. It's juniper driven, so if you don't have this gin, go ahead and use a London Dry. That's gonna work great. In fact, that's probably most common with this cocktail. As for the crème de cassis, this is the sugar component. It offers a bit of fruitiness. This is my go-to bottle, the Jules Tourier. If you don't have crème de cassis, crème de mûre would also work. That's a blackberry liqueur, as opposed to a cassis, a black currant liqueur, but traditionally it would be crème de cassis. And then the vermouth. So I'm not using a dry vermouth. I've been using blanc vermouth more and more lately, ever since I made the El Dictador years ago on the channel. I've slowly been switching over to the blanc vermouth. In this drink, it adds kind of a savory floral component that's really nice. I'm also going to express a little lemon oil across the top. For all you mix-along folks at home, I'm not sure if I mentioned the lemon. So if you don't have one, it's not a deal breaker. It's not a big deal, but if you have one, grab it. Also, today marks the official launch of House of Bitter Bear, which I feel like I've been talking your ear off about over the last couple episodes, so I feel like everybody already knows about it. But if you don't, it is your next online bottle shop that is fully catered to this channel and the drinks we make. It's powered by Curiata, so you get the same great customer service, but the really cool part is you can shop by recipe or video. And each recipe has a breakdown of ABV, cost per drink. There is nothing out there like it. And I'm gonna be hosting more of these mix-alongs in the future, so stay in the loop. Let's build. Here we go, let's make. Everybody, those of you who are mixing along, I'll try not to go too fast here, or at any point, just go ahead and stop this video if you have to go pee or whatever. Let's start with the gin. 1 ounce of gin, 1 ounce of crème de cassis, and then 1 ounce of blanc vermouth. Surprise! It's equal parts. Easy, breezy, beautiful. Cover girl. Not sponsored or affiliated. Now we can go ahead and add some ice to stir. I should point out, while I do this, I oft times say 30 seconds or so. But that really depends so much on the ice you're using. If you're using little chipped ice, it's gonna dilute pretty quickly. If you've got super cold, hard ice, then you're gonna have to stir for a little bit longer. Sometimes I stir for nearly a full minute to get the right dilution. It all comes down to feel. You have to get used to your ice and the temperature of the room you're in. Little nuances to diluting your cocktail. What's the ABV of the cocktail that you're mixing up? What spirits are you using? Oh man. So when I say 30 seconds or so, really lean into the or so. I feel like it's not ready. You know, I'm looking at the glass here and I'm not getting the condensation as much as I would like. The ice has fallen into the cocktail. That's the #1 sign. Actually, this is probably good right now. And that looks good. Oh, I didn't tell you, we're serving this one up. Grab your chilled glass. Strain the cocktail into the glass. Now, express some lemon oil across the top. Hit the sides. I'm gonna clean up this lemon peel so we can do a little garnish on the edge of the cocktail. I feel like the color of this cocktail, because it's like a deep red-ish color, not only is the lemon like a pop on the nose, is a pop for the eyes. Put it on the edge of the cocktail like that. There we have the Arnaud Martini. Cheers. Okay, I'm gonna quickly taste this and then I'm gonna show you another recipe you can make with these 3 bottles. Cheers. I gotta say, that's really, really nice. It's velvety in texture. It's got some weight. It's got some viscosity from the crème de cassis. Definitely taste the gin. It has nice, strong botanicals. And then the creaminess, kind of a floral note from the vermouth. It's balanced, equal parts, easy to remember. I think that's a really good drink. I really do. In fact, I think if you're a martini drinker, you should try this. It is obviously gonna be a little bit sweeter, but the fruity element to it is just a really nice cocktail. That's my 2 cents. Now, if you made this cocktail along with me, let me know in the comments down below what you think of it. Do you like it? Is it good? I've got something else for you. Now, this next recipe is gonna be using the same exact 3 bottles, very similar, but I'm gonna add a couple other ingredients, which if you don't have right now, that's okay. Hang on to this recipe, make it in the future. It's an original of mine, and I call it Yvonne's Reprise. So, camera good? Camera rolling? For this recipe, you will need that same gin, crème de cassis, and blanc vermouth, as well as fresh pineapple juice, fresh lemon juice, and a semi-rich simple syrup. So a few more ingredients, but bear with me here. If you like a French martini, by the way, it's kind of in that vein. So let's go ahead and make this. We're gonna shake it because it's a sour style cocktail. We're gonna start with the gin, 3/4 ounce gin, to that 3/4 ounce crème de cassis, 3/4 ounce blanc vermouth. So we're sticking with the all equal parts here, but now is when we branch away. 1 ounce of pineapple juice, 1/2 ounce of fresh lemon juice, and 1/4 ounce semi-rich simple syrup. It's 1.5 parts sugar to 1 part water. Now we can add ice and shake. Go, once again, we'll serve it up. Grab a chilled cocktail glass, Nick and Nora, and double strain into the glass. For a garnish, pineapple fronds. Yeah, that fresh pineapple juice wants to foam up, which is kind of nice. It adds a lot of texture, a nice fluffy texture. There we are, Yvonne's Reprise. Cheers. Cool, I'm just going to put this back on. Okay, so there we go. It's wear glasses with this one. You kind of risk eye damage. Yeah, see, I really like that. Nice, soft, fluffy from the pineapple juice. It does have a tropical element, but that crème de cassis keeps it in more of a forest berry realm. But yeah, it doesn't drink like a tiki drink at all. What I really like is the gin and pineapple. I think gin and pineapple is a nice combination. That blanc vermouth works really well with the pineapple juice. The reason why I wanted the pineapple in here is because I was reminded of the Algonquin cocktail, and I really like how that couples the blanc vermouth with the pineapple. It works really well. I think it's a valid nod to the Arnaud Martini. And to Yvonne herself. Oz, would you care to try either of these cocktails?
Why not?
Here's the Arnaud Martini.
Ooh, I like it. I don't think I've ever had anything quite like that before.
Yvonne's Reprise.
Oh, that is really good. Yeah.
For the record, she took about 4 sips right there.
Sorry.
So, no, there we have Arnaud Martini, also known as the Parisian Nights and the Arnaud. And then we have Yvonne's Reprise. Let me know in the comments down below if you enjoyed this cocktail, if you give it a shot. Thank you, House of Bitter Bear, for being... I went into thanking the sponsor, but I'm the sponsor today. So thank you, Anders, for sponsoring today's film. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter, grab your merch, grab your syrups. Cheers, everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Stay away from that old Viper man. Don't you take that fruit he's holding in his hand. Just one bite and you'll be swinging with the